See, that's the thing. Sometimes I think you make up bits of the story as though they were fact. That doesn't seem right.
Well, that's all you can do, innit? So that's educating Ricky. Will we?
Brilliant.
Do that next week.
That is brilliant.
No, I think that was good. I did. I mean, I enjoyed that. I learned something from that.
I mean, well, I want to get. I mean, this is all from one book, is it?
Yeah.
That's an interesting book.
With the, I don't want to dwell on it, but with the hairy Chinese kid, what did they say about that? What was the, I mean, was it once there was born a kid who was slightly more hairy than everyone else? But yeah, it's alright, he only had a boil. How did they word it? How did this capture your imagination?
There was
well, it was a picture that grabbed me, first of all.
Yeah. Sure.
And it was like, God, what's up with him? And that's when I read it.
Did you see the boil and the eczema or just the hair?
No, you see, because his face is like, just under his eyes is sort of nice and smooth, and his nose is sticking out, and that's not hairy. But the rest of him, it looked like he had the sort of a balaclava on or something. And then I read on, and it's like, this is a hairy kid in China.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, good. Anything else in there? Because, I mean, I like
no,
that.
We'll do more of that next week.
How is that alongside, hanging bacon, alien abduction, a hairy Chinese kid, and, a little interesting fact about the derivation of a phrase?
What do you mean?
He didn't understand a word of that.
So, last week we started good sort of play on words that we had going.
Go on.
The well-known film Educating Rita.
Yeah. That's become, thanks to Karl Pilkington's brain, it's become...
I've tweaked it a bit, and now it's Educating Ricky.
Brilliant.
Right? And that was a new feature we started last week, if you weren't listening, where I teach Ricky stuff.
What did you teach me?
Taught you about that little Chinese hairy kid.
Yeah, you didn't teach me anything. You said there was a kid that was born that was slightly hairy than other Chinese people.
Where the saying, chewing the fat came from.
I enjoyed
that. Was good. That was interesting.
Good.
And a man who had a beard, because he was being abducted for 3 days. Again, that was rubbish.
Lest we forget.
That taught me more about you than about alien abduction.
But what happened last week is...
Go on.
We sort of talked about it all in one go. And you can't...
Whereas this week you've done what? You've spread it out over the show.
Well, I've spread it across the 2 hours, because I always found that if you try to be taught too much in one go, you just can't take it in and it'll be wasted.
Is that your experience of school?
Yeah.
They taught you in 3-minute bursts.
Yeah, and not every day.
Yeah.
Every other
When
month.
you felt like it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we're gonna do, right?
So we've got Educating Ricky coming up. That's
Educating
exciting
Ricky across the 2 hours.
Okay, look forward to
and
that.
what I do is, I've made little headlines again, and you decide which story you want to go for first.
Well, give me the first headline.
No, not yet. We'll do that in a bit.
Give me a teaser.
Hang on a minute, I'm telling you what else.
Right.
So,
Okay.
the way this works is,
What would you rather be, Karl?
I teach you
Superheroes.
3 things.
A frog boy, yeah, that you could leap onto a house, but you had to go first and leap onto a house. You're this frog boy, right, and that could be useful, couldn't it?
That's very useful, yeah.
Right, amploid, where you've got your hands and microphones, and you can talk into your hand and your whole body, it's like 100 decibels, you can go, "Oi, come here!" And people can hear you from miles away, amploid, right? Right? Or sado, right? And that means that you can go up to anyone and go, alright, and they don't know why, they just get fed up for the whole day.
Which of those would you prefer? Don't answer now, have a think about it. Have a think about it.
The frog thing, do I look like one, or...?
No, you're just you in your little Ben Sherman shirt and everything, and they go, and people walk along and they go, "Oh, look at that young child on that roof, he's gonna fall, I wish Frog Boy was here," and you go, "Blah." And you go down, you go, "Blah," and they go, here's him! And they don't recognise you when you're squatting, they go, "I don't know who you are." And you leap up there and say, and you come back and they go, "Where's Frog Boy?" And you're standing up and you go, "Dunno, he went that way."
Yeah, I'd probably have that one.
Would you
go with Frog Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay, go on.
Right, so, did that just go out?
What?
All that.
God, I got a bad...
Hey, look, Rick, Karl's really planned this show. He's really worked it out. He came in early, he was writing things down.
And there's me just coming up with rubbish
and
like
you were
that.
just talking rubbish. So, Karl, I know you've been thinking this through. What have you got?
So, Educating Ricky, we did it last week. It's where I teach you some stuff. But rather then just teach you something, or tease you, so you want to know more, so you want to take in information, right? So
If only people had taught you like that, Karl.
so
And also, it's the name of a film, sort of.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Coming up soon, Henry VIII and his, well, how many wives? Come back tomorrow, Karl, to find out.
right, well, the little headlines I've got to sort of tease you with the story.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt me, and I'm not very well. Go on.
Right, we've got
So this is what, sorry, I've just got lost for a minute there.
It's Educating Ricky.
This is Educating Ricky,
Yeah.
and these are the stories that these are the things you're gonna tell him.
yeah.
But these are just headline versions.
These are headlines
This is not
because
the actual fact.
then I think people remember things.
Okay, alright, so you,
do you know what I
yeah, sort of bullet points.
Who can forget hairy Chinese boy?
Indeed, I shall never forget that.
Yeah.
mean?
Go
So first headline.
Ooh.
Don't do that to it. You know it can't live without an head.
I've got no idea. It could be about the French Revolution, it could be about anything.
I know what it is!
No, you think you do. But,
No, it's something I taught you! Is it the fact that cockroaches can live for 9 days without a head?
That's part of it, but it's something different as well. That's why I thought we'd bring it up.
okay.
Okay, brilliant. So that's something to...
Next one. You won't work it out. If only it was raining.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Go on.
And the last one. What's tomato with you?
What's tomato with you?
Yeah.
Look how pleased he is.
You're obsessed with puns, aren't you, at the moment, Kay?
It just works. I think it works.
Yeah. You love puns.
So there you go.
So which of
Okay.
those are you gonna choose, right?
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to choose. Don't do that, you know it can't live without a head. Karl, what's the story then?
Right. So what did you say you're going for? You've got your 3 titles, your 3 teasers.
Well, I think I'm gonna go for don't do that to it, you know it can't live without an head.
I'm looking forward to this.
Right.
Right.
So this is Educating Ricky, for those that
Yeah.
have just tuned in.
Now, something that Ricky told me about when he was educating me was that a cockroach, if you cut its head off, it lives for a week,
Yeah.
right?
And the only
what
reason it dies is because it can't take on water.
Sure. It doesn't have a great time in that week, though, does it?
No.
I mean, it doesn't get
No.
much done, I don't imagine.
It just needs water, and because it can't find any, like its eyes, it eventually dies,
Yeah.
right?
No.
So what?
No, it's not, that's not, it's 'cause
Anyway.
it can't drink.
Anyway.
So have you heard that one about worms?
Okay.
I might have, go on.
If you cut a worm in half,
Yeah.
a lot of people have said in the past that it'll turn into 2 worms.
Right.
But that isn't actually true.
Okay. Who said that?
No, it used to be like, you know,
Kids at school
they
said
said it on, kids at school and stuff.
Yeah.
So that, you know, a lot of people think that.
Don't pick him up on stuff, Steve, it's bad enough.
Sure.
So, but what they can do, if you get a worm, right, and you find out which end its head's at,
Right.
if you you've got its head there at the left-hand side, right, and if you sort of cut it in half,
Right.
but not in half, so there's more of its neck than the tail, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bit that you've cut off will sort of die, and the rest of the worm will get better. So in a way, you can cut it in half, and it'll survive, but only one half will survive.
Okay.
Yeah? What have you learnt
I
there?
wish you hadn't chosen that one, Rick, to be honest.
I know, because it's nothing, is it?
Yeah,
You know that
don't know
joke,
what
you know that
information is.
joke, how would you tell a worm's head from its you put it in a bowl of flour and wait till it farts.
Yes.
Right? I told my mate that, right, and he went, what if it coughs?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, there is a bit of truth in that myth of cutting one in half.
Where did you get this information? I don't understand where you get this information
That was from the Fortean Times. It was like the myth about worms.
Yeah.
That was the big article that week.
Did it take you as long to read that article as it took you to tell us just then?
I like the fact that it starts off debunking a myth
Yeah.
that we hadn't heard of anyway.
Exactly.
You know the big thing about cutting a worm in half and making 2 worms?
No.
Yeah. What's the other one? What's
I
the
mean,
other
it's not the
headline?
thing to do either, by the way. Don't go doing it.
No. It's not very nice.
But,
It's cruel.
but it can get by
and
if
it's
you do.
pointless.
Yeah,
There's no scientific worth
yeah.
in that.
Well, there you go.
Okay then.
Longview, further. That's great, that.
It's a good tune.
On
Can I just give a
XFM.
big shout out, Rick?
Go on.
To, John Kay. He's listening online in Los Angeles, City of Angels.
Brilliant.
It's his first time listening to the show. Who knows what he's making of it? I wonder if we should explain what Karl is to him.
He's up early.
Well, he's got up apparently to record it, and then he's gone back to bed.
Oh, right. So he's listening to it any time. So, oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Karl,
Can you explain what he is?
Well, he's a little bit of a grumpy, spoilt, lazy prat at the moment.
Oh, that's
but usually he's quite a funny, nice, sort of genuine guy who's in awe of the world if it's furry, and doesn't really care if it isn't. But,
anyway, we're all one big happy family. You know?
Come on, Karl, attitude up. Happy. Happy. If we're happy, the listener is happy.
We were talking about, schools, swearing, kids at school. I just remember at school, loads of my friends now are becoming teachers.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what it must be like in an environment with kids. Because when we were at school, I mean, not particularly me, but lots of people in the class, and you'd all end up doing it, would just treat teachers like they weren't humans, like they were just creatures from another planet, that were there to be tormented.
Because, it's a game, isn't it, to see how far you can wind someone up to distraction.
But
and most people grow out of that.
But is it because, not everyone, but especially they've got a bit of cash in their pocket now, and a little bit of success, they tend to think that gives them license to treat people badly. It's terrible. But I remember there was a guy, this is such a terrible story, there was a teacher, he came in, and he was teaching us, and one kid, one of the hard nuts, he'd found out that this guy, he lived on his own, and he had a cat, and the cat got run over. And so we got in early, like everyone was in early, and before the teacher came in, and this kid drew a picture of a cat being run over by a car, in chalk, on the blackboard, a huge picture of it. And the teacher just came in, saw it, burst into tears, and ran out. And the thing is, that was like the beginning of term, so he could never get us back after that. There was never going to be any respect for him. It was just...
I know, yeah.
It's just like, I just remember now, thinking about it, I mean, at the time I remember thinking it was bad, but now it's just heartbreaking, it's devastating.
I know.
It's just
they just forget, they let their guard down a little bit.
Did you ever do the one where you just humming?
Yeah. And
he'd tell us to stop it, and then everyone would just go...
We used to, there was one teacher, me and my mate used to go up to, and just, when we saw the other one, just sort of sniff him slightly, and then sort of like, so he goes, what? I go, nothing. And he'd walk away sniffing his armpit.
But those kind of mind games, it's like...
I know. Once, right, I was talking about this in the week, actually, we had this, teacher, and he must have been sort of 60 then, right, and we're all about sort of like 12. We had to do French, you had to put your thing on the booth, and it was I told you something, le chat est, you know, and all that, right, and répété, cats on the wall, right, you'd repeat it in French, and of course everyone was going, F, C, just for fun, and he heard this, and he listened back to all of them, and he realised it goes, and he went mental. He went, I don't believe this! Do you know how much these cost? He was going mad, and he was going red and bursting, like Karl was earlier, and it was like, I can't stand this anymore! Anyway, he picked up an exercise book, he said, look at this exercise book! Look! And, I won't say the kid's name, he went, so-and-so, look, oh look, he's put... And, I'll change his name, Smithers. He went, oh look, he's put Smithers' his shit. He goes, he's got Clever on this side. He's put Smithers' his elephant shit. That's good. Right? And he went berserk. He went, oh look, he's drawn a picture of a penis with wings, and he's written underneath, Dicky Bird. He went, is that clever? He went, do you want me to put a piece of paper up so you can come and write swear words and draw ladies' genitals all day? And I went, like that laughed. He went, I'm glad you think it's funny, Mr. Gervais! And he stormed out.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And did he ever come back?
No, but we put the bit of paper up for him and said, look what we've done, you sir. That's a fanny.
Yeah.
There's some knobs. Yeah.
Was it biology?
No, it was French.
Oh, French, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I just remember things like games like, there was some cupboards at the back of I think the maths class, and one kid just got in the cupboard before the teacher came, and then sat in there for like, 45 minutes, and just towards the end of the thing just came out.
Brilliant.
Just came out and just went, and sat down. And just things like that, which just kind of, it's not, I don't know what it is, or I don't know what, it's just an utter lack of respect.
I played a trick like that once in my first year at college. This is pathetic, right? We're on a hall of residence, right? And there was this woman, sort of middle-aged woman come around in a twin set, and I think she was from a bank where she was doing students can do a bank account, and we knew she was coming up the corridor and she was not right, and so my mate got in my wardrobe in this little room right? Just sat there, she came in and I said, have you banged? I said, yeah, I banged. I said, okay, can I just do it? And there was a knock on the wardrobe. I went, come in. And he just came out and I went, all right, and he left, right? And she just looked at me and I started laughing. I went, sorry. She went, you're not interested? I went, no. But it just fell flat. It fell flat.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Carl, a little bit happier now?
Yeah. I'm happy.
What have you done this week?
Doesn't bother me that.
No, what have you done this week?
Doesn't bother me
No,
that.
Carl, answer the question. You're the producer. What have you done this week?
A few things.
Oh, it's funny, right? Because when he's moaning about, I was telling him about, I'd caught him out. He says he doesn't get a lunch break. He had over an hour, and then he went. I think he went quite early that night to get a hob that hadn't been delivered or something. So, and I said to, was it James Hyman? Was it? Wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, James, he's always complaining about working. Does he work hard? And he went, well, he doesn't work as hard as he used to. Play a record, Carl, will you?
Interesting.
Don't want to really hit the start button now. I might do it in a bit lazy.
I'm not saying you're lazy. I'm saying, you know, maybe some people don't think you work as hard as you do. That's the way of the world. I'm not saying you don't work hard. Just reporting speech, really, on James Hyman. Calling him a liar. Play a record.
Can't be bothered.
Play a record, Carl.
I reckon we could do this all the way through, Billy Bragg.
Play a record, no, let's not ruin it. It's not Billy Bragg's fault.
No,
Carl's
not
in a bad mood.
that. He's written some good tunes, old Billy Bragg. That's
Yes.
one of them.
Yeah.
Waiting for the great leap forward.
What station are we on?
XFM 104.9.
Yeah, with Karl Pilkington. Carl, what do you think of it so far?
What? This
You
today?
weren't up for it, and now it's turned out great, and are you a little bit happier?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Good. Just talking earlier about teachers, weren't they? Have you got any amusing anecdotes about teachers or anything around that subject?
I didn't go to school that much.
Go on.
When I did, it was, I was telling Suzanne about it the other day how, you know, she goes out with me now and she thinks I'm great. She's lucky what she's got and stuff. No, she's done well.
Yeah.
Right? But I was the sort of kid who she would have hated at school because I never had, like, a pen.
Oh, yeah, I know what the sort you are. Never a pencil case or any stuff.
I'd start off the term, I would, and
Yeah.
have, like, you know, a brand new carrier bag with my stuff in.
Brand new
Yeah,
carry bag,
classy.
And,
Well, you got to have somewhere to put the stuff you've nicked from Woolworths in, haven't you?
right, so that'd be there. But then by the time, like, a couple of weeks down, I'd put my pen down, I would have lost it, and then I'm sort of going around saying, can I borrow a pen?
You didn't try sticking it up your nose, it's not still lodged up there.
It's not, no. But the funny thing with, like, you know, you were talking about teachers and stuff.
Were you disruptive? Were you a disruptive kid? Were you the
Not
sort of
really.
causing trouble?
No, not really. I was
No,
one
he
of
wouldn't
them.
cause trouble. He's terrified of the boss here, isn't he?
No, it's not that. It's just that, what's the point in winding people up? I find it quite annoying if people do that. So I don't wish it up on anyone else.
Why'd you wind Steve up then?
I don't
sometime?
wind him up.
You
I
do.
don't wind
You
him
have
up.
done, but no, come on, let's not argue. We're getting on well then. Come on, Carl.
And, like, the teachers, because I'd lived on this estate, right, loads of stuff used to get nicked and go missing and what have you.
Blackboards,
And
desks.
their way, no, like the telly and the video. Telly, video,
Oh, really?
and stuff like that. And the projector thing and all that. So, the way they used to try and find it, right, my little conspiracy, 'cause you know I'm good at them.
Yeah, yeah.
What they used to do is set your own work and say, right, draw like a bird's eye view of your house. Right? But draw everything you've got in your house in it as
Right.
well. So if you've got, I don't know, if you've got anything in the loft, make sure you draw it.
Right. So kids would come in with overhead projectors.
Well, that was the idea,
Chalk,
I think, behind
Guns.
Yeah, yeah.
it. They were amazing.
Anti-aircraft guns in the shed.
So the picture you did for your home, presumably
Got nothing from me.
nothing.
I didn't do it.
I'm not. He used to hand it in empty house. I'm not a grass.
yeah.
And nor the illegal immigrants living in the
Just a
kitchen.
picture of your Auntie Nora.
Yeah. What's that? Is that? Have you been,
Is that a
have you been
tennis ball?
stealing tennis balls?
Yeah.
No, that's not a split tennis ball. That's my
But what
auntie
about all
Nora's.
the? But what about all the stuff? What didn't you have to draw all the stuff that your father had nicked?
Karl, have you ever seen the programme Inside the Actors Studio?
No.
James Lipton interviews famous actors and gets words of advice about, how they work and how they act. But at the end, he always asks a series of questions, which is based on a French series of questions that a guy called Bernard Pivot used to give people when he interviewed them. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions. I'm just interested to see what your response is. And, answer them quickly. You don't have to think about them too much. What is your favourite curse word?
I don't think I've got one. Knobhead. That sums everything up, and I think it's...
But you wouldn't call your nan a knobhead, would you? What would you call a nan?
Well, knobhead's alright, isn't it? Because she sort of gets it. It's one of them things that everybody understands, but it's not too offensive.
Right.
What a knobhead.
What would you do, though, if you were swimming, right? It was a nice little thing, you're on holiday, right? And there's this octopus there, and you're going around, right? And you just see it start spitting at you, poison. What would you say to it?
Well, it's too late then, isn't it? And I'd kick it. And I'd say, knobhead. I would... but what's the point? What's the point in getting annoyed now? Because it's done its stuff, hasn't it?
I don't know why you'd kick it and call it a knobhead under the water. What is this octopus thinking? Oh, God. Oh, okay, you fucking eight-legged shit.
I'm not bothered. I don't know what you're saying.
Fucking cunt of a mollusk.
I'll just spit at you again. It's not bothered.
You slimy little fucking boneless wanker.
This is why the face
Are you
is
still
good.
talking to the octopus?
Oh, I don't believe it. He's only going to run it down the...
That jingle, of course, signifies another reading from Karl Pilkington's diary. We went to the park and had a brew. Suzanne read the paper while I played with a ladybird. I mean, it's like a child, isn't it? It's like what a child would do.
Suzanne read the paper while I played with the ladybird. His only friend is a beetle.
It climbed up my arm. It struggled on me hairs.
This is in detail, then.
Yeah. It kept stopping every now and then and was rubbing its head with its right arm. It did it about 4 times and always used its right arm. It rested for about 5 minutes, then flew off. Sunday. Had a bit of a to-do with Suzanne because she wanted a lion today. I ate this. Once you're awake, you should get up. I got up and put the radio on really loud. She eventually got up. I told her insects don't have lions, so we shouldn't.
Why are you obsessed with insects?
You must be fucking unbearable to live with. You must be a nightmare.
No, I've just started, because I've watched insects a lot. I don't want to keep going on about them because we're a bit insect heavy. But at the end of the day, if we copied insects, we wouldn't go far wrong.
I don't know what you mean, though. 1 minute you're saying they're great, then the next minute you'll slag them off.
Yeah, I'll slag some of them off if I don't know what they're doing, but because I've studied them a bit longer, I just think they do it
You haven't
right.
studied them, though.
He thinks he's like Darwin.
But you just slagged them off when you go, don't you think people, that insects are doing stuff? They're not. It
Yeah,
goes there, then
ants.
it goes back again.
The ant was messing about, but only that one. The others were carrying stuff. That's what I'm saying. These snidey ones in everything. In everything in the world, you get a hierarchy.
Oh, long words!
Ooh. Some new sea thing has been found.
That's the headlines on the news.
It wasn't found by sea experts, it was found on eBay. Someone was selling it for £5. I don't see the point in buying something that you don't know what it is.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It was...
Someone's found some sort of shell with a thing living in it.
Right.
They thought, oh, I've never seen one of these before, I can flog it on eBay. Someone bought it and then wanted to look after it, went to some sea expert and they said, oh, I don't know what that is. That's the story. It's just weird how stuff's being found on eBay.
No, it wasn't found on eBay, though, was it?
Yeah, but that's where the specialist people sort of picked up on it. It's just weird that... I mean, all I was saying is I wouldn't want one. If you don't know how to... If it's a new creature, you don't know what makes it happy. When you get a kitten, you go, stroke its head, loves it, right? And you can do that knowing that it's liking it. If I had a little seashell and you go, does it sit in water? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You could end up doing more damage. So that's why I wouldn't want it. It's nice to have rules, and it's nice to know what you're doing with something.
Well, as you write in the diary, it's like if an alien landed and wanted to live with you. As much fun as it might sound, it wouldn't be long before you got annoyed with it because it wouldn't eat the food you gave it.
That's what I'm saying, but I couldn't have a go at it because it might not like pasta.
It might not.
Everyone likes pasta.
Wow.
Woke up to some interesting news. It's good when this happens because it sets me up for the day ahead. If it's miserable news, it affects my day. It said on the news that they have found 2 new flies.
Fucking hell, Moritz! insect. What have you done? Is that all you've done this summer?
Bong. Trouble in the Middle East. Bong. 2 new flies found.
Ladybird climbs up arm.
They were found in the UK and they were found close to each other. Maybe this happened because they were different than the other flies and weren't expected to hang about together, so that's why they knocked about with each other.
That would happen, wouldn't it?
What do you mean?
There's 2 new flies.
What do you mean? Does it mean there are 2 new flies that are a different species?
Yeah, 2 new species, and they found them close to each other, right?
Yeah,
and
but they didn't mean there was one of each.
No. Yeah, they did. They found 2 different ones.
No.
No, they have. Seriously, I know that. That's right. That's a fact. So you've got, like, I don't know the names of them. They give them odd names, don't they? Well, say
Yeah.
call it A and fly B, right?
Yeah.
Fly A, I don't know. Say that's orange.
This is just...
B.
Fly B, yeah.
This is
but,
painful,
No, but
this
I'm
is
just making it
painful.
easier
But
for
Fly B
you.
wears
Okay.
a little hat. He's got a little hat.
Right, yeah, fine. Now, they found the orange one. I went, look at this over here. This is a bit weird. And they've gone, oh, that's a new species. Log it, whatever. And then the other one went, oh, keep your pen handy. Look at this one, it's got a hat on. So then they found them both within the same distance.
I don't know what that sentence means.
Keep going.
They
No,
found
let him
them
try and
both.
finish.
They found them both within the same distance.
But without interrupting him, let him finish this point.
Let me just make one thing clear. Carl Pilkins just said they found them both within the same distance. Think of that!
Don't know what it means, but go on, let him finish this point.
So what I mean is, they weren't knocking about with other normal houseflies because they were probably sort of going, oh, he's a bit weird. Leave it. Yet, because the other one was also odd, they're hanging about with each other. Don't you understand that? Why is that such an odd concept?
Because you think of it as like 2 little new kids in school.
Yeah.
They find out they're both new and they've got something in
Yeah,
common.
they're both goths, so they start hanging out together.
Yeah.
And this was on the news, was it?
Yeah, just on the radio, yeah.
I know if I looked into that story, it would be 90% wrong.
Bit tired today because didn't get to sleep as early as I'd wanted due to a moth getting in the bedroom.
Fuck me.
I got it in a glass and looked at it for a bit and then let it go because Suzanne wanted to go to sleep. Looked up some interesting news. Some people dug up an old body in Ireland. Turns out it's well old and was here when dinosaurs were here. The really weird bit is it had hair gel in its hair.
Right, what is it?
Fella,
Well, no, it wasn't around when dinosaurs were here then.
just a bit after.
Right, fine. A lot after, yeah, go on.
It's not the age bit that's amazing. It's the fact of there's a fella, won't have even had shoes on his feet,
Right.
and yet he was worried about his hairstyle.
Right, well, that's definitely not true either.
There was a man on the radio doing poetry, says Karl in his diary. I thought I'd have a go at doing a poem about today.
Not really. Steve, I'm a little bit queasy. He hasn't really written a poem.
He's written a small poem.
No, he hasn't really.
Yes. If moths had eyes...
Fuck me!
Let me read the poem, okay?
Oh, fuck.
You wouldn't interrupt T.S. Eliot.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
Right. It may be the greatest poem ever written.
Is there a creative decision for that?
Can we have Carl read that?
By all
Sorry,
means, yeah.
just you read it as you would like to. So this is imagine this, right? Okay, this is going out all over the world. And now, Karl Pilkington, a new poet from Manchester, now living in London, England, would like to read a poem.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
He said it as though the last bit was going to rhyme. He said it like it was going to rhyme. Oh, God.
I
It's
think,
amazing,
but I think he feels as though the final line, "I'd rather be a blind moth," is going to be one of those great, you know, a summation that somehow the moth is a metaphor. The caveman.
No, but
there's
all
no
I'm doing-
metaphor in that. He really does mean he'd rather be a blind moth.
Yeah, well, I'm just because I've looked at the day's news.
Are you getting into poetry now, properly?
I really like it, yeah. Right, I did 2 about jellyfish.
Excellent.
I don't like jellyfish. They're not a fish, they're just a blob. They don't have eyes, fins or scales like a cod. They float about blind, stinging people in the seas. And no one eats jellyfish with chips and mushy peas. Get rid of them. And then there's just a shorter one I did about a jellyfish. It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
Yeah, it certainly would.
So,
That's great. That's really good. Because it's jelly. He's done us there, Steve.
Yeah.
That's a really good poem. Can we always do that, Carl? Can we always find a day, right, and always sum it up in your
in a
thoughts,
poem.
a poem, just like that? It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
yeah. And I think mine are more active than most, my eyes.
What do you mean?
Well, I went for a what's-her-name, Steve, you don't know. I've had problems with my legs.
Oh, Christ almighty.
He's the same. What are you? 33.
He's a
And you talk
hypochondriac.
like you're a
He's
70-year-old.
honestly, the slightest thing, he's got time off work for this. We went to the dentist 3 times in 1 week. He goes, now his leg's rubbed 2 times a week for
No,
some
I don't.
reason.
I don't.
In and out of the kidney hospital, and they're going, there's no kidney stone, Mr. Pilkington. He's going, oh, right. Christ almighty, do some fucking work.
No, the thing is, I've been, in the last, 30-odd years, I've been working hard, and I've let my body get run down a bit.
How have you, like, you're 30, what are you?
33.
Right, 33. Sorry to start off with such a hard question. But how have you been working for 30 years?
Well, I just have. I sort of I got on with it.
At 3? At 3?
No, I'm
Well, you
just
didn't get
saying.
on with anything at school, did you? Because you were just pissing about.
Yeah.
You weren't working
Yeah.
hard there.
What was the first job you got? How old were you?
I was 15.
Right, okay, so you've been working for 15 years then. Okay, good,
Yeah, but I
right.
had my paper round when I was 10, didn't I? And that was hard graft. That's why I'm bald and that. Getting up at 4:30. It all adds up, doesn't it? All adds up. So anyway, when I kicked my height when I was a kid.
He always says this, like it's a classic story that everyone should know.
Everyone
and
knows,
also
like-
the phrase "kicking my own height."
Yeah.
Explain what you mean.
Just kicked my height when I was a
Kick
kid.
your. No one understands.
You kicked
Carl.
your leg up to the
kicked
height
me
that
like-
you were at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
if
kicked
you were,
my height. It's not a well-known phrase. You can't just go, "I kicked my height."
so you're 4.5 foot, and you've put your toe up into the air 4.5 feet by kicking.
Yeah, but I landed on my back.
Right,
'Cause
okay.
I didn't
Imagine seeing that in the playground. They go, get Karl Pilkington to kick his height. I bet he falls over like a
It
fucking
wasn't in the
penguin.
playground. My dad got me to do it in the garden.
Brilliant.
But
So-
why? Why did
He
you fall
sold
over?
tickets, the neighbours were cracking up. Yeah.
Why did you fall over? Did you hit
I just
yourself
didn't,
in
I
the
didn't
head?
have kicked my height. I mean, my leg got high up, but I was that chuffed that I got that high, I didn't think of putting my leg down again.
What's it look like? What the fuck did that look like?
He's got to think it all through. I thought it was automatic.
No,
In life, but
It stayed there.
You sort of stay balanced.
Christ
But you didn't
almighty.
think, well, I'm loving this. This is brilliant. But what should I do now? I got my leg up. I'll just keep it up. Whoa!
It looked like a Hitler salute with his leg. What were you doing?
So anyway, I landed on my back,
Yeah.
and I did some damage, I think. And it's because
Definitely.
of that.
You sure you didn't land on your head?
And it's because of that, all them years and what have you,
Yeah.
I've had like a trapped nerve in my leg.
Right.
So I thought, right, now's the time to have it done, because when you get older, I mean, it was the kidney stone thing. Once you've sort of looked at, death and what have you, it just makes you think, got to start looking after
Do you
your
think you
body.
could die of the slightly bad leg that you've had for 15 years?
Well,
Do you think that'll eventually kill you?
well, it could do if I can't run away from danger quick enough.
Right. Again, you're thinking of Jurassic Park coming true.
Well, whatever though, I'm just saying, you've got
Yeah.
to look after yourself. You know, if there's anyone listening
could
out
always
there
hop.
who's got a problem, get it sorted.
I'll tell you what
That's all
though,
I'm saying.
if you have to fight off danger and you kick them, put the leg back down immediately after.
So anyway, I went to see this fella, to like a professional leg rubber.
Professional leg rubber.
Yeah.
And he sort of said, a few things that were quite interesting. Remember that time when we had a chat on the last lot of, like, podcasts? I said, am I in charge of my brain? Or is my brain in charge of me?
Yeah, do you remember what I said? That's the most stupid thing you've ever said.
Yeah, well, listen to this then. So I go and see this leg rubber.
Professional leg rubber, yeah.
Right, and he is professional.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, a leg rubber. You haven't said doctor at any point in this conversation.
He's a leg rubber.
So this, however profound this is, it came from a man who is self-confessed professionally leg rubbing.
Not just legs.
Does he do left and right? Or?
Back rubbing as well. He does it all. Right.
Right.
So I'm in
Professional
there,
rubber.
and I didn't mention about how I thought my brain was, was in charge of me and stuff. I'm lying there. He's bending me about and what have you. The first problem he came across is that my nerves aren't long enough for my body.
I don't know.
My nerves aren't long enough for your body.
He was lifting my legs up and I was going, right, stop that a minute, that's hurting that. He's like, what do you mean? He said, I've only got them like just about...
Well, that's your tendons.
No, but your nerves are in your legs as well, and your tendons don't hurt, it's your nerves that kick in. It's your nerves that make you go,
Yeah,
that
but they
hurts.
hurt because your tendons are being overstretched.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said. Right, so he lifted the leg up, and I went, right,
Was
stop
this
doing
above a
that.
laundrette, this surgery?
No, it's a proper place. He had like towels and all that on
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's got towels
Oh,
then.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a laundrette.
so I'm lying there.
Other people's towels.
He's got towels, underpants, bras.
Halfway through he said, you haven't got 20p, have you, for the dryer? Okay.
So I'm lying there, and he lifts the leg up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that hurts a lot. So he said, oh yeah, short nerves. And I said, what do you mean? He said, your outside of the body is longer than your inside.
Right, he doesn't sound like a doctor. He does not sound like a
The
doctor.
outside of your body's
Yeah.
longer than the inside.
So he had me lying on my front and what have you, and he was sort of crushing me back.
Right.
And he was going, does that hurt? I said, yeah. It was like 48 quid this as well. Putting me through all this pain and what have you.
Well, you got some good advice, though.
He said, you're pretty stressed. And I said, yeah. So it's, I've quite a bit of stress in my life. And I explained to him about the kidney stones and that. I said, oh, that's that.
He went,
probably-
oh, shut the fuck up.
He probably said that. He said that's where you were probably got a lot of tenseness. And
A lot of tenseness. Is that the phrase he used as a
no,
trained
he's
professional rubber?
He's a doctor. He's definitely a doctor.
So anyway, he said, do you relax much?
You haven't got any Lenore, have you? I want these sheets to come out nice and soft.
He said, do you, you should learn to meditate or something. He said, because you're all tensed up. We're living in a stressful world, as he told me about it. So when I was telling him that I have problems relaxing, he said, that you're obviously the sort of person
Who's
gullible enough to spend 46 quid for this hokum?
He said, you're the sort of person whose brain is in charge of them, rather than them being in charge of the brain.
So all you did was you met a person as stupid as you.
Yeah.
No, but I thought it's interesting that this is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And he picked up, that was the first visit, that's the first, I'd only been there about 22 minutes.
Yeah.
You get half an hour for 48 quid.
Right.
But he picked up on that
Yeah.
within like 15,
No, he saw a
20
right
minutes.
fucking sucker coming. No, he did pick up on that, yeah.
But anyway,
don't go to him again.
The reason, I am doing, I've got locked into it, I've got to go at least another 3 times.
Why?
I'm trying
What
to
do
get
you
out of it. I don't know, I didn't realise that you have to have a minimum amount of things. So what I'm saying
I can't
is,
wait. What's the wisdom he's going to come up with next week? That'll be brilliant. I will kind of, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying
Your
is,
blood's paranoid.
we were talking...
You've got jealous bones. You're the sort of person whose stomach's hungrier than you. What absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know, like how we were talking about eyes, weren't we? He said, the thing is, you've got to be able to relax, and the way to do it is to focus. Right? He said, I said, what do you mean? He said, when you go to sleep...
You're the sort of person whose eyes can see further than you can.
He said, when you go to sleep...
Close your eyes and see. Instead of just leaving them open staring at the
But
ceiling.
Carl, keep breathing.
Yeah, keep breathing. Close your eyes. You're not dead. It may seem like it, but you're not. You're just asleep.
So he said...
Oh, fuck me.
He said, what you've got to do when you go to sleep, focus on your toe, right?
Okay.
He said, and just think about nothing else. I said,
He's a witch. Did he say you to put a toad under the bed?
no, he just said, focus on the toe and see how you go on and what have you. Next time you come in, let me know. Anyway, I gave this a go, focusing on the toe.
So what does this mean? You mean you sat in bed staring at your toes?
No, this is it. He said, like, lie down,
Visualising
shut
it.
your eyes, and sort of look at it, sort of thing. So I was lying there, and it just wasn't working because
Oh, Carl, this isn't medicine.
I was...
You
even
were
though the
thinking of a
eyes...
finger.
Well, no,
He found out he was thinking of someone else's toe. Next
It
day,
doesn't
someone
work.
called up and said, Carl, my toe's better.
no, the problem was I was still using my eyes even though I had them shut.
Oh God! Just when I think he could never come up with so much stupid, he pulls that one out of the bag.
Right.
Turns
So
out-
what does that mean?
Oh God!
You were still What does that mean?
I was straining them. I had them shut, but I was sort of looking down at my foot.
You were trying to see through your eyelids at your toe.
Well, I was looking down, so I'm thinking that's where the foot is. And because of that, I was straining them and they were stinging, so I had to pack it in.
I'm gonna die. I am going to die. Right.
So if anything, this
okay.
guy's just made your stress levels worse.
Yeah,
That's
I said that to
amazing.
him.
That's amazing. Okay, if someone out there's listening, could you put in order the top 10 most stupid things Karl's ever said? And to me, that is number one. That is now number. Well, that's overtaken. Is your brain in charge of you, or is you in charge of your brain? Oh, that's amazing.
Two-pack. I'll tell you what, we should get rolling. Rockbusters.
No.
All right.
No.
Well, he has done it. He just said that he was worried about it because we said it's the last one. What do you think,
I
Karl?
just don't think. I mean, can I just say now, Karl? Seriously, I'm only responding to what we're getting on the email, which is people do not want Rockbusters. They really. There's one guy here who is. He says, it's James Pooley. He says he's preempted Karl by giving my answers to this week's quiz. I don't know what the clue would be, but his answer is no Van Ear, Nirvana.
Yeah, good. No Vanny. Yeah, that'll be sounds like one.
Number 2, he's just guessed. I don't know again what the clue would be, but the answer is Kid Creosote.
Yeah, that's good.
That
That's
would
a
be
typical
perfectly viable.
Rockbuster. That is brilliant. That's a better game.
And the last one is Harry Seacombe.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good.
So I mean, maybe we should reverse it so people just, they,
and,
you know,
and we have to come up with the with the clue for them.
You
and
give us-
we win the prizes.
Yeah.
Have you got prizes ready as well?
It's all there, but...
Oh, I feel sorry for him now. Read what the prizes would have been.
I'd rather just give them away to the first person to email in, frankly, than have to go through the torment of
Oh
Rockbusters.
God! Look at Karl's face. I wish you. Oh, can't we get this on telly just for Karl's face? Hey, I'll tell you what we could do, Steve.
Uh-huh.
You know, like Smiley Miley and that used to take the Radio 1 Roadshow out.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Come on, should we take it out?
Hello, Bournemouth.
Yeah, how many miles have I done? Don't care. No,
Exactly.
should we do this? How many miles have we done? Well, XFM's down the road.
Yeah.
1. Yeah. Should we take it out the road just so they can see Karl
To
Pilkington?
be fair though, I mean, you're not really keen to leave W1, are you?
Well, we wouldn't.
Right. So where exactly would we take the roadshow?
We'd do it outside.
Outside the building.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And what would we
It's
do?
called a roadshow because it's in the road, and I imagine, isn't it?
And we'd give away T-shirts.
Throw in t-shirts, and then we'd have a
Any old
band.
tat.
We'd have band playing. What was that band playing tonight?
I forget, something Diesel, was it?
Yeah.
See, instantly forgettable. I mean, that was my point, really.
we could have them on.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
We'd get a couple of celebrity pals down.
Someone from Big Brother 2.
That would be ideal.
Well, Josh, the other little gay fella.
Yeah.
He'd come on, just wave.
Yeah. I'm beginning to like the idea.
Yeah?
That'd be brilliant, yeah.
So we'll have Josh, something Diesel. We're playing the Bull and Gate tonight, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. I'll throw out some t-shirts,
Yeah.
and then Karl will do a live Rockbusters. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, do you want it?
I just think that ruins it slightly. It would just bring the whole afternoon down, Rick, I think.
We get it sponsored by someone. Yeah. No. Well, I'm just trying to
No, sure,
inject a
yeah.
bit of. Read the prices, what they would have done.
There's a PlayStation game here.
Oh.
I guess it's maybe not been released yet. It's a little demo of that. What's this? The American Song Poem Anthology. I don't exactly know what that is again, but lots of songs on there and a couple of compilations, arbitrary compilations. The Club Anthems compilation, the best summer holiday album ever.
Wow.
There it is again.
You've certainly sold it to me, Steve.
The best air guitar album again.
Brilliant.
And an old edition of Only Fools and Horses.
So, you really haven't put the effort into the prizes, Karl. So if that's the prizes, if that's the whole point of the competition, and they're the best prizes you could conjure up, in God's name, how bad are the clues this week? That's why he doesn't want you to do it, Karl.
Alright, we won't bother. Forget it. Doesn't matter.
Good. Excellent. Well, that's resolved.
Brilliant.
That's excellent. What we have got, though, is Educating Ricky, haven't we?
Well, another one of my little things.
Oh, it's brilliant, then.
So how long's this going to last before you want to get ditched this?
Well, we'll see. A couple of weeks.
Not like that, Karl. It's all one. It's one love, man.
We're on the same team, mate.
Yeah, we're just one voice, man. One true voice. Like those lads.
Yeah.
They could play.
Right, well, the Educating Ricky,
They
right?
could play.
Well, why don't we play a record and come back with Educating
The
Ricky?
Wind, Cat Stevens.
We need
beautiful
to
song.
get the
Beautiful
jingle
song.
queued up as well.
Yeah, I'll get the jingle queued up,
No,
yeah.
I haven't got Neil Young lined up yet.
No, not Neil Young, Cat Stevens, I gave it to you.
I know, we're not playing that yet.
Can we just play a record?
No, I
This is just
told you
sounding
to.
rubbish.
Well, I
It's a
told you
squabble.
to. See, so why aren't you playing the record I told you to play?
Because we've just had something chilled, right, from Tupac. Let's lift it up a bit now with a little bit of blur. Right?
Come on, play it. Oh, how much you off?
I just have. Crazy beat Blur on XFM 104.9. Right, we're gonna do Educating Ricky instead of Rockbusters.
Incidentally, on the subject of Rockbusters, we've just had an email from Phil. He says, I could do with this week's rather shoddy array of prizes, as I'm doing a car boot sale tomorrow, and need a bit more tact to fill the table. Probably send it
we
to
might,
him.
we might as well do it anyway.
Yeah.
But Educating Ricky, it was a feature. Well, actually, about a year ago, I started a feature called Educating Karl because we found out he had 1 E at O level at history, and I'd educate him on things like Rasputin, things that I thought he'd be interested in. You know, Winston
Che
Churchill,
Guevara.
some of the greats, some scientific facts, and then I said it's your turn, and he started telling me about people born without legs. Some people have got a funny eye. There's a woman whose tongue's longer than her arm. And really, you know, turning the screw on education.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what he's got for me today. Maybe a dog born a cat. Let's have a look.
We've done that one, we've done that.
And is there, because often we should point out there's sometimes a crossover between Educating Ricky and Cheeky Freak of the Week,
Yeah.
just in terms of subject matter.
Yeah, so we've done Cheeky Freak of the Week, we've done all the freaks. What have we done with the Freak of the Week? There's a dog. There was a woman that had the back legs of a dog. There was, last week, what was last week?
It was the girl who was born with 4 eyes, 2 mouths and 3 legs.
Sure.
You weren't that impressed, I thought if we've got to that and it's not impressing you. let's
We are a
spin that,
tough
let's
audience,
spin
I
it, let's spin
admit.
it, let's move on.
Is there
Yeah.
a jingle for Educating Ricky?
Educating Ricky, oh god. You've told me Educating Ricky. Very similar to some of the other jingles I've done.
Well, they're made by the same people.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Okay, what have we
well, it's just, I mean, Educating Ricky is just stuff that I learn in the week, and I think that's interesting. I keep it up here, and then I share it with you, right? And, some interesting stuff. One of them, right? Mount Everest.
Go on. I need more.
Right, well, there's a problem,
Yeah.
because people are leaving rubbish up there and that. And, like, people, whoever owns it is saying, he's saying, forget this, they're leaving a mess, and all that. But do you know why it's called Mount
Sorry,
Everest?
what was that? That's one, is it? That's one. There's rubbish on Mount Everest.
No,
How many people go up there?
I know
Are we
that's
talking
what-
about people dumping old tellies and washing machines?
Who's fed up? The Yeti? What are you talking about?
No, I mean, that isn't what I'm educating you, I'm just telling, this is part of the story, I'm just telling you.
Just a bit of context for you.
That they're leaving loads of rubbish up there.
Well, they're not leaving loads of rubbish up there, are they?
No, they are, apparently.
Not
it's
like
alright,
prams and washing machines and seagulls flying everywhere.
I don't know. I
Anyway,
don't know. But anyway, do you know why it's called that? You know why it's called Mount Everest?
why it's called Mount Everest?
I know the mount bit.
It's because it's a large mount, and if you climb it, by the time you get to the top, you need to have a rest. And that isn't the educating bit. I'm just telling
Well, it's
you.
not true.
Well, we'll leave that.
Well,
Right.
no, Karl. In the name of everything holy, do you think that anyone named it because you have to have a rest when you've climbed it?
Well, we'll see. You'll see what people say on email. But
Well,
that-
it's definitely not.
But anyway,
That-
that's one thing that kind of that's interesting. I'll remember that. I'll teach Ricky that, so you've learnt that. Right, now, are you familiar with this thing that they can do if you're dead, right? No, not if you're dead. It's like if you're ill and you know you're gonna die,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know what this is anymore.
Extraordinary.
Have a rest.
Extraordinary.
Himalayas. Himalaya. What?
Listen,
on.
this is an interesting fact. Come on. If you're ill but you know you're going to die,
Yeah, you can have this thing done in Detroit where you get put in a fridge,
right?
and if they work out, you know, what's wrong with you in 20 years' time, they go, right, that fella is in the fridge, he had that, we can sort it, let's get him out, and they sort you out.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've come across this idea?
Yeah, I read it the other day. I didn't know
You've
about
never
it.
heard of this before?
Have you?
It's called
Cryogenically
cryogenics.
preserved.
It's good, isn't it?
They put you at sort of like sub-zero temperatures, so stop all cellular activity.
So do you stop aging at that point?
Yeah, it's suspended animation.
So, well, what's the law on it, right? Because say if I had something, right,
Yeah,
and I said, oh, put me in a fridge, and when you've got the cure and that, wheel me out, sort me out. Say if they did that,
yeah,
and it was like 40 years,
yeah.
and in 40 years' time they get a cure for me.
Yeah.
Would I have to stay with Suzanne? Because she'd be 70.
Do you mean what are the rules? Should you be allowed to date a younger woman?
Well, it's not fair, is it?
On
It's
her?
like good
No,
news,
no.
we sorted you out, but here's-
I don't
here's
think she'd
your
mind.
girlfriend.
I reckon
She's
she'd have the best 40 years of her life.
Yeah. And plus, they're never going to find a cure for what ails you.
That is genius. That is brilliant. You come out, you're cured, and you go, oh no.
I love the fact that's what he'd be lying there. If you could think while he was in that state, you'd be thinking, oh, God.
She's losing her looks.
Yeah.
Just, oh dear.
But everything else as well, like my job wouldn't be here.
No.
No.
Um,
Although the figures would have gone up a little bit.
flat's probably gone or knocked down or whatever.
Sure.
Most of my family would be dead.
Yep.
So what's the point? How do you know about it? Who's done it?
Well, famously, Walt Disney, apparently. I mean, Walt Disney actually did die, but had his body preserved so that should they one day be able to bring back people from the dead.
They need
Yeah,
Walt Disney.
they'd think, hang on, who do we have?
But with him, nothing is going to change because when he comes out, Mickey Mouse will still look the same.
Sure.
And plug and all that.
Play a record! I don't know where your mind is! Play a record! It's brilliant, you just say words! It's the Amoret!
Right, Karl, let's do a competition. Chance to win some of the product that we've got out that Karl doesn't want to talk about because he's too lazy.
No, it's not that. If it's,
Well, if you do want to win a copy of this book, Ricky Gervais presents The World of Karl Pilkington. It's by all three of us, and it's some of the musings and thoughts and ideas from the podcasts. Karl has got some new theories. It's illustrated throughout.
By Karl Pilkington.
By Karl Pilkington. It's got excerpts from the diary. They're genuine, aren't they? They're photostated things from the diary that people haven't seen, and it's fascinating read.
We can sign that. We can also give you a copy of this new 3-disc set CD of the best of. Is it the first series of the Ricky Gervais Show?
Yeah, well, it's got everything actually. It's got the whole 12 first series that we did with the Guardian Unlimited, the award-winning, record-breaking podcast. It's also got some excerpts. If you want the best of, you can put that on. And it's got 1 hour of new material, which we recorded especially for it, but you can't get that. You can't buy that in the shops till the 13th of November. And I've thrown in the new Flanimals book, Flanimals of the Deep. It's the third in the trilogy, Karl. Are you excited about that?
yeah.
And the question is, do you want them?
Okay, that's the quiz question.
That's the quiz question, yeah.
Okay.
If
Is that
you
a trick
think-
question?
No, it's just the first correct answer. I'm
Oh.
not going to tell you what the correct answer is, but do you want them? And think, if you do want them, then that might, what's the answer? And you can send that to...
podcast@rickygervais.com. Include your name and address, and if you're the lucky winner, then we will send this stuff to you if you want it.
And it's the first come, first serve, okay? So the first correct answer to the question, do you want it? Do you want that stuff? Do you want Flanimals and the CD box set and the book and that?
Okay, well, if you know the correct answer to that, podcast@rickygervais.com. Good luck, everyone.
Well, thank you for listening to the first of these 3 special podcasts with Guardian Unlimited. The next one is out for Thanksgiving, 23rd of November.
We don't actually celebrate Thanksgiving. What is Thanksgiving?
It's a thing in America.
Right.
It's like the big holiday. Probably rivals Christmas. Probably bigger than Christmas.
Well, what do we do here?
But we don't celebrate here, do we?
So it's a date, isn't it?
Yeah, but no one's going to remember that, are they?
23rd of November they can remember, can't they?
Yeah, but it's nice.
Well, they
if
should
it's-
remember that's one day before my birthday if we're going to celebrate anything.
Okay, well, you've got this one, the next one's the 23rd of November, and the next one's the 25th of December. Well, how can I remember 25th of December?
Well,
Christmas.
that's fair enough, that's Christmas, but Thanksgiving, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Okay, the next one's out about the 23rd of November, then
Yeah,
after that,
a
about the
day before my birthday.
Oh, they're going to remember that, aren't they? It's Steve Day in Bristol. Yeah. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this special edition of the Ricky Gervais Show, the entire back catalogue is still available on iTunes under audiobooks, by the way, not podcasts. Audiobooks, and you can get everything we've ever done. I'd like to thank the guys at Positive Internet for hosting this. Those great guys, what would we do without them? So, it's goodbye from me, goodbye from Steve Merchant,
Bye.
and goodbye from Karl Pilkington. Welcome to the second in this series of 3 special free podcasts with The Guardian Unlimited, with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Hello.
and Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
These are a special thank you to all the fans that bought the last few podcasts we've done. Still available on iTunes. You can't miss it. It's at #1 in the charts. Karl, it's Thanksgiving.
I don't know what that means. I don't know how we're doing this.
I'm slightly in agreement with him, actually. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Well, no, but it was, arbitrary dates are easy to remember for some people. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Easy to remember.
I don't think Thanksgiving is.
Well, it is in America, and
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you. I mean, I've been around for 30 odd years. I've never celebrated one of them. I've never done anything about it. No one has. I don't know any relation who has ever said, "Are you popping around for Thanksgiving?" I don't know, when is it? I've never done it.
because it's not celebrated in this
So
country.
why are we celebrating it?
We're not celebrating it. It's an arbitrary date to do a podcast.
I just don't know what it's about. I mean, before you celebrate something.
You don't celebrate
Should I-
Halloween, do you? But we did that.
No, but it annoys me how people don't actually know what the occasion is, but they celebrate it. Kids don't know what Christmas is about these days. It's just like, oh, get some toys. That's
Yeah,
what I mean. So Thanksgiving, it's just another one, isn't it? It's another event.
Okay, why do you celebrate Christmas then?
Because everyone else does. You can't get
Brilliant.
away from it. I'd quite happily block it out. If I did a new diary, I'd leave out that date and go, come on, let's get on, let's do something good.
Well, you go on holiday every 2 weeks. What's that to celebrate?
No, I'm just
But
saying.
people need a little break, don't they? It's a great
He doesn't.
Christmas is a great time, even
Yeah,
if you
but
take
the
away the
problem
religious
is, what I
aspect.
don't like about it is everyone's off at the same time, so everything stops. See, what I'd do is, I'd say to people, do you like Christmas? Yeah. Right, when do you want to celebrate this year? And let them do it whenever they want.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Why? As long as you're remembering baby Jesus, does it matter when you're remembering him?
But I'm an atheist and I celebrate Christmas because it's a time of year where everyone is off and everyone gets together.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care what they call it.
The fact that we're all doing it at the same time is what's nice about
No,
it. There's a
it's
sense of community,
No.
national community.
Everyone shuts down by about December 15th or whatever. And then it doesn't get going again till like January the 6th.
But what is it you're missing out on during this period?
Just it's like 2 weeks there. I mean, that bit between Christmas and New Year, you might as well delete that out of the calendar.
Yeah, because heaven
nothing
forbid you
happens.
can't pop down the library because it's closed. all that reading you've got to catch up on.
I'm just saying that we're wasting time.
What are you doing though?
I've never seen anyone on this planet waste as much time as you.
I was gonna
If you're
say-
not on holiday, you're following an insect around the fucking park. So don't give me that shit.
I'm just saying that I don't like fun.
Never a true
Well, there we are. We've got to the nub of it here. You don't like fun. This is true. You don't like
Christ
anything.
almighty, you do not like fun.
No, organised fun. I hate that thing. I've said it a bit before about, you know, it's that date, that's what you've got to do. Will there come a time when someone goes, we've done enough of this? Will there come a time, and for Thanksgiving?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly, yeah. Things change, don't they?
And you'll be happy then, will you?
In 5,000 years' time, when we all worship Glong.
Yeah, we just make a change. That's all I want. Because you know I've been keeping a diary.
Yeah.
Uh,
What did you have in the cafe yesterday, for example? We can read about that later.
it's just like Ricky said. Oh, are you gonna do another one next year? And I wouldn't, because it's you do the same stuff every year, don't you? It's set up the same way. January, February. It's the same thing. It's the same routine.
Yeah.
And if you're writing,
Why
in
are
a
they
book,
always doing them in the same order, those months?
It sickens me, Rick. I
Oh.
tell you.
you see, it's just easy to put stuff off whilst we've got this calendar. Whereas if you didn't have a date, you'd have to do everything straight away.
What?
Say if I was in charge
Oh God, heaven forbid.
and
Yeah.
someone said that building needs knocking down.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. if we didn't have a calendar, you go, let's do it now then. Whereas, because we've got a calendar, it's easy to say, next Wednesday.
I love him! His theories are amazing! I mean, I don't know, maybe he is a real visionary thinker. Maybe he is free. You know what I like about him, though? All his thoughts, they're about freedom of expression in a strange way. He's not burdened by anything. He just goes, well, why do we think like that?
But
He questions everything, like a true visionary scientist.
But who gets a diary come Christmas time, which I know you hate, you know, for the next year, and thinks, wow, what a piece of shit.
Now I've got to
I'm
put
just gonna
something
do stuff when I want to do it.
I'm going to take out next Wednesday. There's no such thing as next Wednesday.
No, but what I'm saying is, before the year's even started, I know in that new diary I can whiz forward to December 25th and I go, another Christmas.
I don't know what you mean.
So everything's set in stone before I've even started the new year. It's like, oh, Pancake Tuesday, that's coming up. So someone's already
Remember
decided.
it's Tuesday.
Someone's already decided.
Someone's already telling me what I'm doing on half of the year.
But
it just
all
been
those
nice.
pages are
fucking
blank,
hell.
Carl, for you to fill up with stuff.
Oh, guess what? Guess when my birthday is again? 23rd of September.
I'm just saying, move them about a bit, move the days about a bit so it doesn't get predictable.
But when we change Pancake Tuesday to Thursday, do we tell anyone else?
Yeah, they do an advert on the telly, just saying don't forget to buy your pancake mix.
But so why?
Thursday.
Carl, why not just stick with what we've already got? Because if you know it's
Actually,
fine
with that,
everyone anyway.
I wouldn't put a date on that pancake day anyway. Just have them when you want. Have it when you want. There's no big deal. You've got to make them yourself. It's not like some place is opening to do it. Have them when you want. I don't know why that's got a special day on it. Sick of it.